Many of us are lazy and we do not consider our sleep patterns with much seriousness. Has it to do something with our habits? Can something as mediocre as getting up early or not can impact our health? Apart from our circadian rhythm and other body cycles which we have already discussed, which I think you can have a look after this video. But staying with this topic and trying to understand the latest research trends which are heading in this direction, what we today call as cynotypes, are they affecting our health? Let's find out. Well, this is not the first time a link has been made on the cynotypes and health indications. In fact, research in this field has been very active. There are growing evidences that suggest that cynotypes, and particularly chrono-nutrition, that is, what time of a day we eat, that indeed affects our health. So to continue this trend, the researchers, we try to understand more in terms of whether there is an increase in diabetes or heart diseases. So this experiment was conducted by University of Virginia, dividing a group of 51 adults into early or late chronotypes based on their answers to some questionnaires. All the participants were non-smokers, free of cardiovascular diseases, cancer, metabolic diseases, and were sedentary, having an exercise period of less than 60 minutes a week. And during the research, this was considered as the baseline along with their BMI, insulin resistivity, and other measurements. And also you need to understand that each of these groups, there were no differences in their age, body mass, metabolic syndrome, and all of them were provided with an accelerometer for detecting their steps or measuring the vibrations when they move around, which they wore during the experimental period of 7 days. After making them fast for 12 hours, researchers then tested these participants at rest and during exercise to assess what they were metabolizing to provide energy. There was a good difference when it came to how energy sources were used by those with early and late chronotypes, which means early birds could utilize more fat over night owls, and their body cells utilized glucose more effectively, thus reducing their overall blood sugars. Night owls tend to be more insulin resistant, which means that they require more insulin to reduce the blood glucose. So the question arises, like, can we actually change our habits or chronotype? Well, unfortunately no, as family studies have suggested that chronotype is more of a hereditary trait. And chronotype also varies with ages, like during teen age, we tend to stay up later than in the middle ages, and from there on, we start shifting our chronotype to a point where during our old ages, we are an early chronotype than compared to any of the younger ages. So given so many life factors can influence our routine and trails, it's hard to know if we truly change our chronotypes or if rather we learn to manage. Either case, there is some work to be suggested to adopt to our early bedtimes and wake up times through practical recommendation. So if you need to change, one approach is to use the 15-minute window to adjust. So go to bed 15 minutes earlier and wake up 15 minutes earlier. In the time and depending on how things are going, this can be expanded to another 15-minute window. So yes, talking about insulin resistivity and cardiovascular functions, another thing which is very essential is to think of changing the diet altogether. Studies suggest that late sleepers tend to binge eat or might have unhealthy diet patterns which include snacking before bedtime or low fruit content throughout the day, and I guess you know the pattern. So swapping these habits to healthy ones such as eating earlier in the day has shown to be beneficial effect on blood glucose level after eating. This practice works well and also proves our age-old theory that in the morning eat like a king, at noon like a prince, and at dinner like a peasant. So I guess you learned a lot today. Hope you implement them in your life. So if you want more steps, please feel free to go through the research papers as I have curated it for you in the description box below. Make the right choices, like this video and make the algorithms happy. Subscribe to the channels for more such educative contents on health and well-being. Drop down your thoughts below in the comment section. Until next time.